Alright guys, welcome back. I guess I am able to record out of service because there's absolutely none here. So, right now, this is the creek I said we get our water from. This one county and another county. So, we'll just kind of take a walk over. I'm going to do an outside tour of the cabin. I'll do an inside one on another video, make it a two-part one. I do have the better half and her kids are up here with her too, so I don't know about getting them in the video, but I will do an outside one first, and if I get a chance to this weekend, there'll be a part two for the inside this weekend. But anyhow, alright guys, that's the cabin. I kind of gave you a basic overview of it. Now I'll give a better detail about some of the things here in this video from the outside. First off, as you can see, we had some pine trees cut down. They were planted here by one of the earlier members, and they grew huge. These pine trees are enormous. They were taken down a few years ago before the roads washed out, and we finally gained road access back in August. So we're going to be up here a lot more now, instead of making a 2-mile hike to get here. So the very start is, if I remember correctly, there was I think it was 4 or 6 people that were involved in the construction of this cabin. And the way it was explained to me is that they had a little shed down back there that they stayed in while they were up here working on it. And we actually went through the photos back just shortly after the road opened up, because my other uncle, who has health issues, was not able to make the hike, was able to get here. And we went through the photo albums, which the photo albums date back from the beginning of this camp, clear up to just a few years ago. So there's like 4 huge photo albums of pictures, and we constantly taking them up here too, and there's a lot of nice views up here. Anywho, this is where hunting started for me. My first hunting spot originally is down that way more, which you originally go down the road farther and it comes into another one. You go down and there's another section of pines right along the big creek down there, and I sat down in there, and that's where I took my first deer. But anywho, the cabin has changed a little bit in the same design. I mean, it's the same size in a sense, only there was an original front porch on here that was converted into what is now the dining room, and the front, I don't know if you kind of call it seating area, but once I do the interior video, I'll explain it better. There's a wood stove in here, as you can see from the chimney. I think you can see anyway, there's smoke coming out of there. I just got that going. We've been here about an hour now, so deer rack. And looking through the pictures, even the surrounding area here is a lot different than what it was way back then. I remember when I first started coming up for hunting, there were nice big groups of them. They kind of died off over the years, which seems to be something that's happened all around. But I've always came up every hunting season, even when the roads washed out. I made it a point to hike in here, and I signed into the book because I wanted to see to it that someone made it here every year. That is the diesel generator that pretty much runs this place, but because we didn't have vehicle access, we weren't able to get much in the way of fuel to it. So we ended up using a small gas generator, which I don't know if you can hear in the background, is running it right now. I got to get more fuel up here, bleed the system, and I got to charge the battery because I just tried monkeying with it, and the battery's the better part of dead. So, but there's no actual bedrooms here. The whole upstairs is an open floor plan, pretty much, with 4 beds on the one side, which would be for those of us, the owners and the people that run the place, which would include me and my 3 of my uncles. My cousin probably would be one of them, but he hasn't really been up much because he's had a lot going on the last couple of years, but he got ownership too, so hopefully he'll be making it up more. And then the rest of it is an open area with these beds that I were told came from the U.S. Army, which it says on them, from World War I or II. I don't know who brought them up, but that's pretty cool. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and 3 full-size beds, I believe, maybe twins, I don't know. But anyway, thousands of acres of state game land. This is God's country up here. I know there's God's country all over, but this is where it is for my area. And we have found a lot of stuff over the years from the railroads that used to be up here from the old lumber time of year. And we have some of them in the cabin, and pretty soon I'm going to do one of the trips up here. I want to go out to one of the old lumber towns that still have cabins there, and back when the roads washed out, that area got hit pretty good, and the roadways were washed out, like in where the town would be, and there were pipes. I guess it'd be like water lines, gas lines, something like that, exposed. And we even found a section of actual narrow gauge train rail down in there. It's just really neat. There's actually a little bit of history in the name of the cabin, which I will go into. I gotta touch up on the knowledge on that part. My Uncle Dave did tell me, but I gotta get it again on the whole story. But my great-grandfather helped build this place, and my grandfather came here as well for hunting, up until I think he built his own cabin, which is about an hour or so east from here. And my dad did come up in his younger years a little bit too, but not as much. And then when I got to be in my very early teens is when I started coming up, and I just kept coming up because I just love it up here so much. It's just really nice country, and it's remote. It's quiet. You don't get a lot of quiet in pretty much where you live anymore, so yeah, she needs some work yet. There's always something we're doing while we're here. Even if you come up for a relaxing weekend, you're always doing something, no matter how big or small it may be. But you know, we had to reline the chimney, which that was a chore in itself. The refrigerator, the cook stove, and the water heater are propane, and there's even propane lamps in here as well, 2 of them. And then we also have 12-volt lights and a radio. Actually, it's a car CD player hooked in there too, that we get our music and radio station for, but no TV. You want news or anything like that, you listen to the radio. So that's about the gist of it here. She's got a lot of years on her, and as long as me and my cousin, and hopefully I can get some more other people interested to be more active here, to become owners with us, because you know, there's always been a couple of the main guys, so to speak, with this cabin, and right now, as it stands, there's only going to be 2 of us, so it'd be kind of nice to get 1 or 2 others interested and loving it as much as we do. So like I said, if I get a chance to, I'm going to do an inside video sometime this weekend, kind of go over it, and I'm going to say this is pretty much what you would expect of a old-time hunting camp. So I guess that's going to do it for the outside tour, guys. I'm hoping I can get an indoor one too, and as we come up here I'll do videos too. You know, that was my better half's failed attempt. She was going to try and cook over a fire tonight, and it just wasn't having it. But anywho, so I hope everybody's staying safe and making it through all right, and I will catch you guys on the next one.